How do we graph lines? In this particular video, with the help of 9 examples, we are going to master a strategy of graphing lines when the equation is given to us in the form of y equals to mx plus b. This is also called slope-intercept form of the equation, where b is the y-intercept, a point where the line crosses the y-axis, x value being 0 here. M, the gradient or the slope, is rise over run. When I say slope is 2 over 3, it means you go up 2 units and 3 to the right units to get to the next point, starting with the y-intercept, which is given by b. And this is what we are going to use to sketch lines. I am Anil Kumar. Welcome to my YouTube channel and the website Global Math Institute. In this video, we have 9 examples to understand and master the techniques for graphing lines. We'll consider the equation of line y equals to mx plus b, which is called the slope-intercept form of the line. Correct? So let us first understand what this equation y equals to mx plus b represents. So as you can see here, y equals to mx plus b, here m is the slope or gradient, right? We also call this gradient. And b is the y-intercept. Y-intercept means x is equal to 0. Then the value of y is the y-intercept, where the line crosses y-axis, right? So line crosses y-axis, intercepts the y-axis. Perfect. So in the sketch given to here, a straight line in blue has been drawn, and clearly we have a y-intercept at a point which is minus 6. Correct? If you take an example like y equals to 2 over 3x minus 6, in that case, what is the slope? Well, slope m or the gradient m is 2 over 3. It really means that taking a point, it will rise 2 units and run 3 units, right? So units could be as shown here. Let me just show you. So from here, we are at minus 6, 2 up will be minus 4, and then 3 to the right, right? You see you land on the line at 3. So we are at minus 4, minus 3. So that gives you a gradient of 2 over 3. So m equals to 2 over 3. You get the concept, right? So that is what it is. And of course, you can find the gradient by finding the difference between the y values and the x values, that quotient, that ratio. Perfect. Now with that concept, let's again look into what the gradient is. Gradient m is basically rise over run, change in y over change in x. That is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now remember one thing, if the line is rising, then we have gradient is positive. But if the line is falling, then negative slope, right? Is that clear to you? So I hope the basic concept is clear. Let's now begin plotting these lines one by one. The very first one is y equals to 2x. Now the common technique is to make a table of values, correct? So in table of values, if you are making, you will write x values, y values, right? So y equals to 2x. By default, the points which we choose are minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. So if you calculate the y value for minus 2, we get 2 times minus 2, which is minus 4. Then we get 2 times minus 1, which is minus 2. 2 times 0 gives you 0. 2 times 1 is 2. And then 2 times 2 is 4. So you get these points. You can write down their coordinate values, right? This is your standard way of doing it. You can write down their coordinate values as at minus 2, we have minus 4. Then at minus 1, we have minus 2. At 0, the value is 0. It's a direct variation. At 1, we have 2. And at 2, we have 4. Then these points are plotted on the graph. So we have a graph here. Let me plot them. So we are going step by step how you normally do. And we will then teach you the technique. So minus 2 minus 4 means that is the point. Then at minus 1 you have 2 and then 0, 0. And then we have a point at 1, 2, 1, 2. And at 2 we have 4. So at 2 we have 4. So connecting these points, you can draw a line. Correct? So this I will say method 1. Which is the normal way of doing it, right? Now, here we are learning second method. Let me call this as method 2. You will appreciate how efficient this method is soon. Now in method 2, what we really do is we consider this line which is of the form y equals to mx plus b, right? So what is the y-intercept? In this equation, y equals to 2x, b is equal to 0, and m is equal to 2, correct? Since it is 2x plus 0, do you see that? So you want to sketch this line, which is y equals to 2x plus 0. So b, the y-intercept is 0, and m, the slope is 2, right? So what we really do, steps are like this. Step 1, go to y-intercept, which is 0, 0, right? So here, that is your y-intercept. Since b equals to 0, the point is 0, 0. Is that clear to you? So that is your step 1. And what is step 2? Step 2 is to consider the slope or the gradient of 2. So then we'll do step 2, which is the gradient of 2, right? So we have gradient m equals to 2. It means change in y over change in x, right? That is the definition. Change in y is 2 and change in x is 1. 2 over 1 is 2. So from here you go 2 up, 1, 2, right? So that is change in y, right? And then 1. So you get a point. Do you see that? Now in this, you are not calculating, correct? You are not calculating. Again, you can go 2 up. 1 right and 2 up. Do you see that? And you will reach this point. Correct? You can do this 1 right first and then 2 up. Either way. And then you can go 2 up, 1, 2 and 1 right. You get the third point. Do you see that? How you got the points? And when you join them, you get exactly the same line. You see that? Draw arrows at the end. So without calculation, we have sketched a line. Does it make sense to you? It will soon. So let's do the next one. Now in this case, we have y equals to minus half x. That means plus 0, right? So that gives me step number 1, which is y-intercept. Y-intercept b equals to 0 means the coordinate point is 0, 0. X is always 0 at y-intercept. So we get our first point. So that is our first point, right? And now step number 2. Step number 2 is look for gradient or slope m. M is equals to minus half. Minus half really means you have to go down 1 and 2 right? That means 1 down, 2 right. Correct? That gives you minus half. So from here, you go 1 down, right? And then you are here, then you go 2 right. 1 and 2. So you are at this place. You get the second point, right? Again, you go 1 down, right? And then you go 2 right. 1 and 2. You get a point. So likewise, you can get lot of points. Well, this could be followed in different order also. You can go 2 right first and then 1 down, right? So anyway, you can go 2 right first and then 1 down. So you get points. Also think like this. Minus half also means you could also think about 1 over minus 2. It is also same, right? That means I could go 1 up and 2 left. Is that okay? So I could go 1 up, right, from the y-intercept and 2 left. 1 and 2. So I get a point. 1 up, 2 left. I get a point. So all these points are on the same line. Correct? Now I can connect this line. We have already 5 points without doing any calculation. Do you see that? So we get our line without even calculating any point. You get the idea. That is how we will graph y equals to minus half x plus b. You get the idea, right? You can actually write down the coordinates also. For example, this particular coordinate point here is 0, 0, right? And then you went 2 right, right? You're going 2 right. X value is increasing by 2. So it is 2 and 1 down means minus 1. Likewise, you can read the points and write down, correct? So that is how you can easily sketch the line. I hope you're getting the concept. Clear? Is it clear to you? Well, in case you want to learn from me, you can always send an email on the address given. Feel free to write your comments and suggestions. You can also visit our website for latest information. Let's continue. Question number 3. Now, can you sketch the graph of y equals to x minus 3? So in this, first identify what is y-intercept. Compare with y equals to mx plus b, right? So we have b as equal to minus 3. And minus 3 here is 1, 2, 3. That is minus 3 for you. Clear? And now, what is the slope or the gradient m? M is coefficient of x, which is 1. It means what? It means change in y over change in x is equal to 1, which I can write 1 over 1. You get the idea, right? So that means you can go 1 up, 1 right. Also, you can think like this as minus 1, minus 1. That is also 1. So you can say 1 down and 1 left. So both can be adopted. So let's do this. So let's go first. 1 up, 1 right. So you go 1 up, 1 right, you get here. 1 up, 1 right, you get there. 1 up, 1 right. So you see how easily you're getting the points. Or you could go 1 down, 1 left, you get a point. 1 down, 1 left, you get a point. 1 down, 1 left, you get a point. Now all these points, when connected, will give you the line whose equation is y equals to x minus 3. Perfect. So let's join them, right? You can take a ruler to sketch better lines. Perfect. Just connect them and get your line. Is that clear to you? Perfect. Well, if you want, you can actually get the coordinate points also. So what are the coordinate points for you? Starting with x equals to 0, we get y equals to minus 3. As the x value increases, the y value also increases. So it becomes minus 2. But if it decreases, that one also decreases. Do you see that? So you get your coordinate points also. But they were not necessary to draw this. That's the whole idea. Perfect. So I hope this concept is absolutely clear. I'll now like you to pause the video and answer, or rather plot the remaining lines. Here is the fourth one for you. Here, what are we given? We are given the y-intercept b of minus 6. Compare with always y equals to mx plus b. So since b is minus 6, we can plot this line here and then find what m is. So m, the slope, is minus 2. So think about minus 2 as minus 2 over 1, or you could also think about it as 2 over minus 1. Both are minus 2. So that gives you the other points. Go up to, right, 1, 2, and 1 right. 1 to 1 left, sorry. Because it is minus 2. Let's go with this first. Minus 2, 1. That means go down 1, 2, and 1 right, right? Since we'll run out of space here, I'll go 2 up and 1 left now. So we'll go with this. 2 up from the y-intercept. 2 up, 1 left, right? 2 up, 1 left. 2 up, 1 left. You see that? So we have set of points which can be joined with a straight line, and that will represent the equation on the graph, correct? Does it make sense to you? Next one. Now we are landing up in fractions. Clearly, we have the y-intercept b as minus 4 and the gradient m as 2 over 3. Both are positive. So if I go to minus 4, step number 1, which is y-intercept, then let's go with rise over run, 2 and 3. So y value changes by 2, right? And x value changes by 3. We get a point, right? 2 and 3, we get another point. So once you have 3 points, you can always join and draw the line. So 3 lines are enough to sketch your graph. And in this case, we also got the x-intercept. So that line represents y equals to 2 over 3x minus 4. Isn't that simple? Perfect. So as we are progressing, I think you're becoming more and more comfortable with this method of sketching lines in the form y equals to mx plus b. Identify the intercept, which in this case is 5. So plot this point 5 on the graph. Then second, identify the gradient or slope. In this case is minus 3. Minus 3 can be written as minus 3 over 1 or even 3 over minus 1. Both are same things. So from this particular graph, if you're thinking about minus 3 over 1, that means you go down 3 units and then 1 to the right. You see that? And you get a point. Go down 3 units, 1 to the right. You get a point. Once you get 3 points, you can connect them with a straight line, right? And that gives you the graph. Now, when you're doing actually for a test, you have a ruler to get the straight lines, right? I'm just showing you how to sketch them, but they can be perfected with a ruler, right? Let's move on. We have y equals to 4 over 3x minus 2. So can you tell me what is the slope and what is the y-intercept? Well, clearly the y-intercept is minus 2. So we can go to minus 2 here. And then we are looking into the slope. Let me change the color for slope this time. Slope is 4 over 3, right? So you can go 4 up and 3 right, correct? That is both positive. So from here, let's go 4 up and then 3 right. That is, we'll reach this position, right? Then again, go 4 up and 3 right. And connect these points. Once you connect these points, you get the graph which you are looking forward to, right? So just connect them. Perfect. So that is how we are going to draw the line, which in this case is y equals to 4 over 3x minus 2. Is that clear to you? Now here we have minus 2 over 3x plus 2. Once again, write down the equation y equals to mx plus b. Start with the y-intercept b, which in this case is plus 2. Mark the point on the graph. And now look for the slope or the gradient, which is minus 2 over 3. So we'll do 2 down and 3 right, correct? So from here, go 2 down and 3 right. 2 down and 3 right. Do you see that? How we have reached? And then you connect them. So you get your line. So what did we do here is that we went 2 down and 3 right, right? So simple as that. 1, 2 down and 3 right. 1, 2, 3. 2 down, 3 right. You see that. Continue this pattern to graph your line. In this case, the line is y equals to minus 2 over 3x plus 2. Clear? The last one here, you need to rewrite this to get the numbers correct. We have to get it in the form y equals to mx plus b. So we are given y equals to x over 3 minus 6 over 3, right? Since 3 is the common denominator. So we have 1/3 of x and here we have minus 2. That is the equation. So from here we know that the y-intercept is minus 2, right? So B, the y-intercept is minus 2, mark it. And the gradient M is 1 over 3. So means 1 up, 3 right. You have a point. 1 up, 3 right. You have a point. Now connect these to get a straight line, right? And this straight line represents the line y equals to x minus 6 over 3. Do you see how easily we could sketch the graph of all the 9 lines? Correct? So in short, you need to understand that B represents the y-intercept, M represents the gradient or the slope. Using y-intercept as the first point and the gradient to get the others, we can sketch the graph, right? So, first point, or you can say start at y-intercept. Which is B, right? And then add points with slope. Add other points with M. Is that clear? Rise over run. So in short, that is how easily you can sketch these graphs as we did. You see how easily we sketch them one by one? No problems at all, correct? Perfect. So with that, we come to an end of this video. Feel free to share your views and comments. In case you like and subscribe to my videos, that'll be great. And if you want to learn from me, send an email on the address given. Thanks for your time and all the best.